and keep protesting. A lot of people keep thinking that protesting is not important, that you're just getting on everybody's nerves. No, keep protesting, because people have been talking about this for more than 100 days. I don't think you understand how big this is, but people all over the world have been talking about Black lives and why they are important for 100 days, and that has not happened in a very, very long time. So keep protesting. Fight for cop cams. When we fight for cop cams, Mr. Tim, and this is something that we can talk about later, we need to fight for audits, annual audits. If they do have an on-off switch because they might try to pull that stunt, we need outside sources checking these cop cams to see if they turn cop cams off. Annual audits for the cop cams. Vote. Of course, bring young people. There should have been a lot more young people today. And I know a lot of you all are parents. Force them to come. Let them see that it's not all pretty and cute as they think it is, and they'll eventually like it and want to be a part of groups that are here. So bring your young people. Talk about race. A lot of people think that race is an uncomfortable topic and they really don't want to do it. Ladies going to probably get up here and talk about hello racism. But when you talk about race, and when we did a race discussion recently, African American people and Caucasian people got to talk to each other privately and openly about what they think about each other and why. And we found out that at schools like Georgia Tech, when they send out things about crime, they don't specifically say what kind of black man. Their description, they just say black man on the loose. They're putting their students in danger. So we need to talk about race, and we need to teach cops and schools and other people working with African American people how to describe a criminal. So with training with cops, we need to teach them how to describe a criminal, because a lot of African American cops look at black boys too and think and assume that they are criminals. So that's another thing that we need to do. Carter mentioned by black. Yesterday, Sunday, we decided to go to Lenox Mall and host a dine-in. And we did that in 48 hours. We did that in 48 hours with no social media. We refused to put it on social media. We refused to put it out there. So if you didn't know, that's why. Friday, I rolled over, called Liddy, and we started calling our friends. And when we laid down in the mall, I noticed a lot of Caucasian people laying down with us, chanting Black Lives Matter. So I really want to thank them for their support, because we can't do that thing. But we noticed a lot of African American people, there are more white people, Caucasian people who lay down with us than black people. But I noticed that they continue to shop, and so if you feel like you just need those UGG boots or that Louis Vuitton bag, there are African American women and African American men and women who own boutiques in Atlanta that sell the same product. So there's no excuse for you not to be able to work with them. Okay? Elected officials, hold them accountable. I work with City Council in Quantum Hall and others. Once you hold them accountable and you work with them, you go to their offices every single day. You try to write up legislation with them that could save the life of police brutality. So do that. Next, rapid response group. This is the last thing I'm going to say. After our Lenox Mall dining that we did in 48 hours, we decided, me and Lady Mansfield had decided to do a rapid response group. So our rapid response group are just different organizations all around the city of Atlanta, Georgia. I'm backing it up. And lastly, stop. Okay, there's something. My mom told me that.
We know MaryPat got a lot of fun.
Hey everybody, how you all doing? All right, that's good. The
to do that. We do a lot of workshops, political education, how racism does, because we're going to have to start. We got to teach ourselves the truth that we were denied. Our education system doesn't tell us everything, and some of what's in those history books that gives us ground is not the truth. We are kings, we are queens. We didn't come in this country, no. We came in this country as dollar signs, but we weren't created as dollar signs. And unless we free our minds and know that, no matter what race we are, until we can free our minds, understand that, know that, feel it, understand why it's okay to go to your shop in West End instead of Macy's in the mall to buy that makeup designed especially for women of color. You know what I mean? Understand why it's okay to go and support the lady that's in your community that's making cupcakes and not go to the chain that does it, because all of those things, once we understand that, we understand why our police system is the way it is. We understand why we have militarized systems that racially profile, and not only do they racially profile, they are allowed and given the go by our government that we support. So we must be able to recognize that. So I ask everyone to please get involved with whatever organization. Start having these conversations in your home. It was brought up. Children need to talk about race. It's so important. We had an event. We have these race discussions. Over 100 people came. It was called How White People Can Get Into the Fight of Social Justice. A lot of people showed up. Why was that important? Because the same stuff we were given was the same things that white people were given. So we need to continue to